Yep, S. Foster back with you with another episode of 28 Minutes or Less. This is episode 41, and I got my partner in crime with me, Scootzbronsen. You know what I'm saying? We co-host because I'm not saying I'm not the host of it. You keep saying you the co-host, but we both co-hosts of the Viewers Anonymous podcast. So this is
hmm
another preview of that podcast, but a different subject, man. The subject matter today, we gotta send out a huge rest in peace to DMX, which we'll get into, but also the main subject matter of this podcast is going to be basically sampled music, man, and how I even came up with the idea of even doing this podcast today. But first and foremost, man, how you feeling, man?
Man, I'm saying, it's a little somber moment, man. After finding out about DMX and everything, and you know, trying to just get through these days, man. It's starting to seem like a whole bunch of shit is happening all around the country, and you know, got to keep a smile on your face. It would be a little bit better if it wasn't so gloomy outside, but
Oh man, it's the same here. It's the
yeah,
same here.
man, that's the only thing I don't like about Ohio weather, man. Like we'll get, what I'm saying, like 40, and then what I'm saying, it'd be sun shining and all that. And then, you'd be like, man, it's cool, but that breeze hit you, it feel like 20, and then you turn around and you get to the 70s and it's raining the whole time. You'd be like, God, leave, man. So we
Yeah.
ain't catching no breaks with this weather, bro. But it's
Hey,
good though,
like,
man. I can't complain.
I mean, I needed a gloomy day, man, because like, man, I needed something to wash out, some of this pollen, man,
hmm
because it was getting too thick out there, man. It was getting real thick.
Yeah.
So, get a good, good rain come through. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Wash a little bit of it out. So just so it don't be so thick. I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's just the fact like it gets so thick sometimes, man. And then your car be pretty much all yellow. So it was
Yeah.
cool, man, to get a little day like this. And then like even the temperature drop, like it's gonna be I think the high is like 71 today. I know you would love to have 71, but like it's been
Man, I
like
would. I'd be so happy to have 71, bro.
hey, but it's been like we hit the 80s this week down here in South Carolina, man. So it's
Yeah, I
been
seen
it's
that. I
been hot.
remember you sent me that picture. They look at the temperature. I'm like, man, I will trade you.
Hey, but I'd be like, nah, man, that's no trade clause. I'm saying, man, hey, but okay, right? So anybody that listens to this podcast knows, like I've always said on many occasions that as far as like asking my dad, yo, like give me like 12 or 15 or $10 or whatever. And the first album that I like bought, like when I asked my dad for the money, it was in '99. I was in the eighth grade. It was The Block is Hot, Lil Wayne.
hmm
But the thing is, what was really my introduction to rap really was DMX is Dark and Hell is Hot. I stole the CD from my cousin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had it. I started listening to it. I mean, even the way it came out, man, even the very first song, man, the intro, man, it's Dark and Hell is Hot. And it was just like, it literally blew my mind, man. And like, I still haven't heard an intro that's even better than that one. But I
Right.
also was able to go to a show. And that was the reason why I stole the CD from my cousin because and remember me and Casey talked about this. He ended up being at that show as well. That
Yeah.
Hard Not Life tour. When they came
hmm
here, it was the Follow Center at the time. And I always tell people DMX came on last because DMX was the hottest rapper in the game at the time. He was hotter than Jay-Z,
hmm
So like that's when I really, really started gravitating towards him. And then like 6 months later, fucking uh my flesh, my flesh, blood of my blood came out, two platinum black albums. And like so DMX to me, like he's always been I mean, he used to be in my top 10, but he's still in that between 10 and 15 area. But it always interchange. But he was a lot of people get on like Drake and Big Sean is doing it. It's a lot of dudes being vulnerable on tracks, man. And
Yeah.
it really to me it seemed like it really started with DMX. Like DMX was very vulnerable on tracks. And DMX was the first guy because like in my family, like on my mom's side, I was like, I don't know, considered like the goody two shoes because like I wasn't in the streets. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't smoke. I didn't, I didn't do anything like that. But on my dad's side, I was like the bad kid because I didn't want to go to church every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, even though, so like, so like I was caught in the middle. I was like, dang, why I can't satisfy nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like, but they was heavy in religion on my dad's side of the family. And even though my grandma, like, look, my grandma didn't play no games. Like she made us go to church. Now, I mean, I went to church. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
some Sundays, you know what I'm saying, I got the short straw. She's like, hey, you going to Sunday school this morning, so you got to get up. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up by 7:00 and go to Sunday school. So I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But my point that I'm making is like for DMX to put prayers on his albums and like for him to show his love for the Lord, but also all the other tracks he's cussing, to me that made it like it blew my mind at the time because I was like, dang, I thought all Christian people couldn't cuss. You know what I'm saying? You young, I'm like 14, 15 years old. I'm like, dang, I didn't know you could do both. So that's what like DMX was like that person to me that was like, damn, you can do both. You can pray to the Lord and you can still cuss. So I always thought that was really dope about DMX, man. But I will say this, and I'm gonna shut up because I'm rambling. But a couple, like, dude, like 30% of the people I went to high school with got a picture with DMX, dude. And let me tell you how that happened. So this had to be like back in, let me see, because I was back here. So this had to be like 2008, 2009, or 2010. DMX lived down here. He was down here for a couple of years. And he went to the same barbershop. And I always missed him. I never met him, but he went to the same barbershop that I went to. And he hung out with all those dudes, Niji, Antoine, Ronnie, all those dudes. He hung out at the barbershop. I got my hair cut. But I used to just, me and the boys just go in, we get our cut, we out. So I always missed him. So I ain't gonna sit here front and act like, you know what I'm saying, I got to meet DMX. But I always missed him. But he was down here, dude, for a couple of years, man. And like everybody's posting their old pictures and videos with DMX and all this type of shit. And I'm like, damn, man, I ain't even get to get a photo with him. I ain't get to meet him. But he's just one of those type dudes. Like but what I heard though, he had a sister that lived down here. And that's why he came down here. Because at the time, you remember when DMX got like real thin, like thin. Yeah. Like he almost looked sickly. That's when
I think that was right before he went to jail, wasn't it?
That's when he was down here. When he was down here, he looked, and I think that it was more of a situation. I don't know this. I think it was more of a situation of maybe his sister kind of rehabilitating him. Like maybe he needed a family member to, I guess get him off those drugs or whatever the situation may be. And I think that's why he lived down here for a little while. But like, yeah, man, I never got to meet him though, man. I've always missed him. And he would be just in random places, man. It's one dude I went to school with. He posted a picture. He actually was our kicker on our football team, and he had a picture with DMX. And DMX, he said, I was in Publix. And DMX was in there. Now the crazy thing about it, DMX had a Publix name badge on, like he worked at Publix. I don't know if he worked at Publix, but it was just like that, dude, just random places. And I never was in the same place at the same time. So I missed him every time,
man. Damn. Man, my introduction to DMX was It's Dark and Hell is Hot. I remember my aunt had just bought it and I was at my grandma's house. And I think I was probably around like 8, 9. Yeah, about like 8, 9. And she only 11 years older than me. So, like we real close. And she had came home. She put the CD on like this, it's like this banister my grandma used to have or whatever. She put it on there and I'm coming down the stairs and I look at the cover. That's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, what the hell? In my head, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? And I'm looking, I'm like, what the fuck is DMX? Man, she put that shit in. She used to have an all black Tahoe. and we got in the car, and she was taking me to the store, and she put that motherfucker on, bro. And when I tell you everything I heard in that motherfucker was fire. So,
Fire.
and this is somebody who came up with, like, my grandfather. He used to, you know what I'm saying, he was always in the music. And then, if anybody ever heard me on any of the podcasts before, they know, what I'm saying, like, I'm really, really into music because that's just in my lineage. And so, what I'm saying, like, my grandfather would listen to, like, Third Base. You know what I'm saying? He got pictures with Tupac. He, what I'm saying, he listened to KRS-One. Like, he got like crates with vinyls and shit in them. So, what I'm saying, my dad used to be a DJ. So it's like this is all we do is music, music, music. So what I'm saying, she was real heavy into Biggie, Jay-Z. I know she was the reason that I started listening to Big Pun, Fat Joe, like all of them East Coast artists was, what I'm saying, because of her. So hearing DMX, it was different because it was like you never heard anybody rap like that before, like so aggressive, but it's so emotional. And then on top of that, like the shit that he's saying, it ain't no I'll run up in your house and shoot you, got the kilos in the back. It ain't none of that. It's like this is some real shit. Like he might be talking about having a gun, but he not talking about using the gun to go kill 50 people. He talking about doing the breaking and entering so he could go feed his, what I'm saying, his family and make sure his girl is good and shit like that. So it's like listening to dude, like you could tell everything that he had came from the heart. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like raw emotion. Just it was crazy to even hear somebody even like rap like that. And then the second album that he came out with, Flesh of My Flesh, I seen that cover and I was like, all right, this nigga is crazy for real. Like I thought the first one was wild because it's like, so like if anybody ever seen that first cover, it's red. And then it's like scratched up and tore up. And it's like you can see the side profile of his face. So you just looking like, man, like who the fuck is this nigga? And then you see Flesh of My Flesh and this nigga just covered in blood. You like, oh, okay. So, you know what I'm saying? It's that. And then it's the white background. So it's like you could tell that everything he did, like he was a, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a real artist. Like that's one of them people that I like to say an artist. I don't like to call him a rapper because from the imagery that he uses, the, you know what I'm saying, the words that he uses, the way he gets on songs, he changes his voice on certain songs. And excuse me, you know what I'm saying, he rap about this, but he, you know what I'm saying, using a different voice to mimic a, you know what I'm saying, like the demon on his shoulder or whatever, or the devil on his shoulder while he talking about shit. Like to hear somebody like that, bro, it's different. And then, like you said, the emotion of it all, to nobody was rapping like that before. You know what I'm saying? You had everybody talking about either, you know what I'm saying, shooting and killing or being flashy. You ain't never really have nobody like really telling their story. And for him to, really tell his story and for, give his heart out to people through music. I mean, man, that shit is tough, bro. You know what I'm saying? To know that he went through the shit that he went through, and then to still be giving people that kind of music. Like this nigga, the only person in history to have 2 platinum albums in the same year.
Like, and it'll never be done again. The way crazy. Music is done now, it'll never be done again. Bruh.
Like,
and then we got to let people
physical
know.
Copies though.
Physical, yes. This ain't no streaming. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People had to go and buy these albums.
Yeah. Literally, like you had to get up, go to the store, pick that motherfucker up, go to the register and buy that motherfucker. That's if you could even find it. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Just to know that he was that kind of artist, man, it was crazy. But my first actual adult album that I ever got from my mom, because she used to always buy me music. I used to have like, you know what I'm saying? I got Criss Cross when I was a kid. I had TLC, you know what I'm saying? I had shit like that. My first ever, this is a funny story though. My first ever cassette tape she bought me, right, was Subway featuring 702. Remember that song, Games We Play?
Oh yeah, Games We Play. That's a shit.
Yeah, I was like, I think I was like 6 or 7 with that tape. I wasn't supposed to have that tape at all. She bought it for me though, like, cause I used to love that song, bro. But I don't know why. But she was like, "You want that?" I'm like, "Yeah," cause it was the single. You know, they used to sell single cassettes and all
Yeah.
that stuff. I had bought the single, and it had like the different versions and the instrumental and shit on there. So, so you know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking back one day, man. I'm like, I asked her one day, I'm like, why you buy me that? She was like, I don't know. She was like, you said you liked it. I'm like, have you ever really like sat and listened to it? She said, yeah, I listened to it. She said, I knew what they was talking about. You didn't. She was like, you just like the song. I guess that makes sense. But man, I was hearing that the other day, and I was like, damn, I can't believe she bought me that shit. So you know what I'm saying? Like, for her to buy me my first actual rap album, you know what I'm saying? And it was The Great Depression by DMX. And I had heard it, and I think the single that he had at the time was Who We Be. I think that's the one that was that he was using off that album. And man, when I tell you, like, every song from beginning to end on that album was just straight fire. I was just constantly listening to it. Like, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember listening to Damien 3 and how creative he was on that. Like I said, him switching up his voice and mimicking the, you know what I'm saying, the devil on the shoulder shit. For him to even be able to go back and forth doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, this dude is just, he one of those people that, you know what I'm saying, that's a once in a lifetime artist. You know what I'm saying? You don't get those kind of people, you know what I'm saying, a lot. Like, you know, in I don't want to say R&B, but like when it comes to singing, you know what I'm saying, you got like Michael Jackson, you got Prince, you got you know what I'm saying, like you got those certain people that can really like not just sing, but like it's like an extravaganza when they putting music together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know, when they put something together and you hear it, this is probably going to be some of the greatest stuff you ever heard. So when DMX does that, you know that this is one of those people that is going to be, you know what I'm saying, some of the greatest stuff you ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I put him up there with guys like Kanye, you know what I'm saying, Pharrell and all them, because like people don't know probably, but you know what I'm saying, like he was with Swiss Beats for, I mean, like the second half of his career. He wasn't with Swiss Beats like early on. So for him to go through and do everything he did and then come back and get with Swiss Beats and then do what he did with Swiss, it's like, it just lets you know that all of that is him. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you know, a lot of people will say it's the producer or it's the team that he got. It really wasn't them. It was, you know what I'm saying, like that's all him. He doing all of this. And, you know what I'm saying, he working with different people. And like you said, he was bigger than Jay-Z at one time. That's a tough, you know what I'm saying, credential to have. A lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't say at one time they're the best rapper in the world.
True, but one thing that you did say that now you always more musical than I am, but I put it this way, I'm not 100% sure about this Dark and Hell is Hot, but Swiss Beats did pretty much the whole Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because he even said, he don't say Swiss Beats names until the second one, until Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. He says Swiss Beats name. And what people don't understand about Swiss Beats was 18 years old when they came out.
Well,
so he was an upcoming, like he wasn't Swiss Beats yet.
I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, so when I say like getting with Swiss Beats, like when I say getting with Swiss Beats Rough Riders, Swiss had it was a point in time to where he had Cassidy, he had DMX, he was working with the Locks, he was working with Eve. Like he had a stable of artists that when you heard them, like it was like, oh shit, that's a Swiss Beats production. Like you could tell Swiss Beats is on there. Like if you go listen to Magna Carta Holy Grail, right? Jay-Z worked with he worked with Diddy, Timbaland, Pharrell, and Swiss Beats. Them the only 4 people he worked with on that album. If you go through each of those tracks, you could tell whose song is whose. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean when I say he on the second half coming back with Swiss Beats, because Swiss had a sound at that point in time. So once he got to, like you said, to the point to where he was the Swiss Beats that we know, he had an actual sound. And that's what I meant when I said that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like man, he was. There would never be another artist like DMX, man. And like I know, like I see, I didn't like I told you, I got into it late. I didn't, get into the like Slick Rick. Like everybody talk about how great of a storyteller Slick Rick was. Like my
The best.
storyteller was DMX. You know what I'm saying? Like the first time I heard Crime Story. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And that's like, and that's the thing about me. Like everybody, look, don't get me wrong. Rough Riders Anthem. You know what I'm saying? That was a single. How's it going down? That was a single. Stop being greedy and all that shit. I can feel it. But like my shit, like a lot of the times was like the B-side shit. Like
Yeah.
my favorite song probably on the album is Crime Story. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
I can visualize that in ATF. Like you can visualize what's going on. And it's like he's telling you the story. And even he does it again. To me, Crime Story and Heat. Heat was on Flesh of My Flesh, Blood of My Blood. It's really like the same song. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's a robbery. I mean, that's basically what it is. Like he talked a lot about robbing people. Like you said, he didn't rob motherfuckers to rob them. He robbed them to get shit that he needed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And to think about like for somebody to be like as heavy in the Lord as he was to grow up the way that he grew up, like I think the first time he got locked up, he was seven or
Mm-hmm.
nine. I can't remember. And it's like to think about somebody who spent a good portion of their life like locked up, but like he still it's like he's like the energy in the room. Like when he walks into a room, like DMX seemed like he just had that energy that was different from everybody else's. And it's a huge loss, man, because he was making a comeback. He was working on a new album. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if he finished it, but he was working on a new album, and like DMX to have the hits that he have. I mean, to go into Woodstock and for all these people to know every single word to his song, you know what I'm saying, at a place like Woodstock, it's just DMX. And then like we talked about his movie stuff on Viewers Anonymous, so we won't get too
Mm-hmm.
much into that. If y'all want to hear that, go over to Viewers Anonymous, you know what I'm saying? We did Snowfall season 4, episode 8. But like for him to transform himself into a movie star
Mm-hmm.
within and like so he's a movie star, one of the biggest artists in the game, but also addicted to drugs at the same time, drug addiction and alcohol addiction, and to be able to balance all of that. In the beginning, he balanced it well.
Yeah.
It ended up getting out of control, but then within that, going in and out of jail and the mix of all of that, and he's really like the most complicated person to really talk about, man, because it's just like he went
Mm-hmm.
through so much in his life and to still be able to rhyme the way that he rhymed and act the way that he act and just be himself in every room that he was in, on top of like I would never forget like he did this just happened not too long ago. I think it was last year, but like that imagery, it stays in my head. He was on the People's Party with Talib Kweli. I don't know if you've
Mm-hmm.
seen that or heard that.
Mm-mm.
And he talked about the first time. It was a dude. I'm sorry, his name blanked out of my head, but it was a dude that looked out for him. Like DMX looked up to this dude like he was the guy that introduced like DMX into rapping. So
Oh yeah, that's the
um,
dude that gave him crack for the first time.
yeah, and it's
Yeah.
just like yo, like to listen to him tell that story, like the person that you trust the most. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? This is a guy that you look up to. And the person that burnt him was the person that he loved. And he was like, why would someone do that to somebody they love? And to think about, like, how could you ever trust anyone after that? And that happened at a very young age. I think he was like 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is a tough pill to swallow, man. Very tough pill to swallow.
I mean, man, like I don't know, bro. Like it's crazy because you know what I'm saying. Like if you just think about all those artists, you know what I'm saying, throughout history that's been in this situation, right? Like if you think even we ain't even got to go as far back. Like we could just go to like Whitney Houston. Just remember just how dope Whitney Houston was. You know what I'm saying? Like she was literally at the top of the world. Like wasn't nobody touching her. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying, neck and neck with Mariah Carey, none of that. Like Whitney Houston was the one. And even when she was on drugs, and even when, you know what I'm saying, like everybody knew, you know what I'm saying, reality show, whatever, when she started singing, you totally forgot she was on drugs. I don't care how high she looked or whatever, or how high she was the night before, whatever. Like, to me, I feel like those people are literally gifted from God. Like, it's no matter what they do to themselves, no matter what happens to them, it's like when they have to display their talent is at perfection. So I felt like with DMX, anytime that he rapped, that was his, you know what I'm saying, like that was his gift, that was his talent. So anytime like that happened, no matter what he went through, no matter what was going on, when he performed, he performed. And I remember like watching DMX on Def Poetry Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like people forget, like dude is you know what I'm saying, like deep. It don't just stop at rapping, it don't stop at acting. Like this dude was performing a poem. You know what I'm saying? Like same shit he do when he get on and he do prayer on his album, and you know what I'm saying, or if he do an interlude in the album and just start, you know what I'm saying, it sound like he talking and he really just doing poetry. Like that just lets you know just how talented he was for him to be able to be in so many different, you know what I'm saying, avenues and be so successful at them. And then, you know, you also got to look at, you know what I'm saying, like some of the shit that happened to him too. Like, you know, he was real cool with Aaliyah, you know what I'm saying, and then she dies, and you know, ain't no telling how he took that. And you know, just dealing with all kind of different shit. And man, it just seems like super, super tough, man. But you know what I'm saying, to know that he still left us something. And I mean, I guess I don't know, man. Just saying that it sounds kind of weird, but you know what I'm saying? Just knowing that, I ain't gonna say it that way, I change it up. Knowing that, you know what I'm saying, his voice can still live on, his spirit can still live on through his music. Like, you know what I'm saying? We always got that to still remember him by. And you know what I'm saying? It's always great to remember people by their best moments. So I think that those are his best moments when, you know, probably when he felt the most comfortable. So I mean, I don't know him personally, so I'm not sure, but I can just imagine how it feels just being somebody who's into arts, being somebody who, you know what I'm saying, like we do this podcast and shit. We sit down, and for me, this is like my most clarifying moment. I don't, you know what I'm saying, this is when I'm most calm. This is when, you know, I can really think and talk and get shit out. So like for me, this is like damn near therapy. So I can just imagine how it feels for somebody who is making an album and they want to, you know what I'm saying, put something together, and then they have people listen to it and it be revered as some of the best shit that people ever heard. I can only imagine just, you know what I'm saying, how that feels. So, you know, but rest in peace to him, man.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Earl, Darkman, DMX, Simmons, man. He will certainly be missed, but you know what I'm saying? At least we got his legacy. His legacy was left behind. So he's gonna
Yeah.
be remembered to the end of time. But to the main subject matter, man, what made me come up with this was to me, first off, Steve Harvey was cool, you know what I'm saying? But like this was like one of my favorite. Nah, like nah, like he was cool. Like
Oh, sorry, that's funny.
I'm trying to
Why
play.
they killing Steve, man?
I don't know. I thought Steve was cool. I thought his stories was
He was doing
cool.
the job.
Yeah, like this. Okay, this is what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say that this was my favorite verses, but it
Mm-hmm.
didn't have anything to do with Steve being there. It's the fact
Right.
of like I did. I'm trying to remember. I think I did. I did do it on this platform. I did a top 5 groups / bands of all time. These two bands was in it. You know what I'm saying? The Isley Brothers and the Earth, Wind and Fire. Like I
Yeah.
love them. So it was more. It was my favorite verses really because of the music. You know what I'm saying? And the music that we was about to hear. And yo, I'm trying to tell you, but I didn't even know that was Ronald Isley, dude. I ain't even like. I ain't even recognize. I'm like, yo, I'm thinking
Nah,
because
that's
I'm
funny.
sitting here I'm thinking in my head like, well, you know, Ronald maybe he busy. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's the most, you know, noticeable person in the group, I was like, maybe he couldn't make it. Because I
Mm-hmm.
seen the dude with the hat and the beard, but I ain't never seen Ronald Isley with a beard. So I didn't even know it was him. Because I ain't really hear him like talk like that. And then all of a sudden they start performing. I said, yo, that's Ronald Isley with that white beard. I was like, yo, I said, I ain't gonna lie, boy. I was like, boy, I wish that was my grandpa right there, but like that dude looked so smooth, but he had the mink on with the, you know what I'm saying, fedora hat, dude. All these women out here, like Ronald Isley was a sex symbol. And then he kind of got older and it was like, all right, but it's like he like transformed himself into another sex symbol, dude. It was nuts how the internet
Facts.
was going crazy over Ronald Isley, man. I just wish that I could look that cool when I'm 70. But I don't even know if I could even pull it off. Can't even pull it off. But what I noticed was, I mean, I've been noticed this because I'm huge into this, but it was a lot of sampled music played. A lot of sampled music played. Like the golden era of music. And me and you was having a conversation before the podcast the other day, which got us to this point where we are right now, was we were just getting into like all of these sampled songs that we love. And like a lot of the times we end up liking the original better than the song that somebody recreated. And where I wanted to start though, I didn't know that I introduced this song to you. We was having a conversation about Jay-Z, and I was like, yo, like the song 444 off of the album that's called 444. He sampled the song Hannah Williams in the I think the Alphabets or something like that. They got a song called Late Nights and Heartbreaks.
Yeah.
And I would listen to the original. Well, I would listen to 444. That was like one of my favorite songs off that album. And I was like, yo, I need to know what this original song is. So I find it, and let me tell you how dumb I am. I find it, right, and like the only thing that's showing, because I went to I usually like to brag off of the songs that I know what the sample is. I didn't know this one, so I can't brag off this one. So I'm looking it up, and this white woman keeps popping up. I'm like, man, who the fuck is this white woman keep popping up, man? It's like, dude, I know this is a song from the 70s by this black lady. I'm like, who is this? Who is this white lady, man, that keep popping up? So, and the white lady with red hair, and I'm like, I cannot find it. So I hit play.
Yeah.
Why do I find this so hard? I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you telling me all this time this is a red-headed white lady? And the song came out in 2016, and it sounds, it's fire. But what the greatest thing about Jay-Z is, Jay-Z, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not every song, but he does do it. And like with this song, if you listen to Late Nights and Heartbreak, she's talking about cheating on her man throughout the whole song. She's actually a dirty motherfucker. But like Jay-Z songs talking about how he's cheated on Beyonce. And I'm like, yo, to pick a sample that is the same subject matter and as dope as it is, and you make, I couldn't believe, I was amazed, dude. Like I had took a whole new respect for Jay-Z, and you got to give respects to oh man, what's my man name? Did the whole album?
Knife Wonder.
No, it wasn't Knife Wonder. It was motherfucker. I cannot believe I can't remember his name right now, because he did the whole album.
I thought Knife did the album.
No, it wasn't Knife. It was I cannot believe I can't remember.
Guru. I'm sorry, it was Guru.
I don't think it was Guru. That ain't the name that's popping. I cannot remember. Oh my god.
It wasn't Guru? I thought it was excuse me. I thought it was either Guru or Knife.
Well, but anyway, I'm gonna try to find it. But like what's my man? But I just thought that was so clever, dude, to be able to take the same subject matter, and he does it again with a song from the dude's name, the Pursuiters, I believe, and that was a part of the Ohio Players.
No ID.
No ID, yeah. I was like, man, I cannot believe I couldn't remember. No ID was the one who he produced that whole album, and but he does it again. Like the Pursuiters have a song called "Trying Girls Out." And he don't use their voice, but he used the music in the way that the hook goes, and he used it for the song "Girls, Girls, Girls" Part 2. And if you listen to that song, he's talking about how he's trying these different girls out in the
Mm-hmm.
different verses. And I just thought that that was so dope, man. Like I love when dudes take samples and like it actually has something to do with the songs as well.
Yeah, like, well, speaking of No ID, like, that's Kanye's mentor. You know what I'm saying? That's the dude that showed Kanye everything that he knows. So, listening to No ID do 444, it kind of makes sense as to why Kanye is who he is, you know what I'm saying, and doing everything he
Mhm.
did production wise. But you know what I'm saying, we was talking about the verses, and it was funny because I just found out listening to the verses that the song that was used, the song that they got, the Isley Brothers called Hello. So Erica Badu came out with a mixtape, I think in like 2016, and she did a song with Andre 3000 on it, and they basically redid that song. But the first time I ever heard that song being sampled was through Ti. So you know what I'm saying? Like it just like you said, it's the fact that they have so many different. First off, let's just put it like this: it was only 40 songs. Let's go there. It's only 40
What
songs.
what they went over. They actually did 50, they did 25 apiece.
Well, no, I'm just saying like initially. I'm talking about as far
Well,
as the
yeah,
verses.
initially. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 40 songs.
Hmm.
So if you put that in perspective and think about all the music that branches off of them playing those, just that little small piece of their catalog, because we talking about Earth, Wind and Fire, and we talking about the Isley Brothers. The Isley Brothers been out since the 50s. Earth, Wind and Fire been out since the 60s, 70s, and so that's decades on decades on decades of music that is in that timeless vein, that like no matter what, like I don't care where you are, if somebody plays September at a barbecue right now, everybody probably gonna get up and dance. If everybody ain't gonna get up and dance, it's gonna be a, you know what I'm saying, like, you gonna feel good when you hearing it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like it's just one of those things that no matter where you at, you can go to a skating rink right now, you be skating and let the Isleys come on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's probably commercials and movies and everything that we done heard all of this music and don't even realize, like, you know what I'm saying, those guys sitting on those couches made, you know what I'm saying, those timeless hits and made those um and made those records, like, and it's not no sitting at the, you know what I'm saying, like sitting at the table and tapping on the machine to make a beat. No, these dudes is playing instruments. These dudes is, they got
Hmm.
to make sure they on the ones and twos, like they got to make sure they on point, because if one person mess up, it could mess up the whole goddamn song. And like
Yep.
they recording as they playing instruments, like they got to redo if they fuck up. So it's just it's so fire to see, man. It was dope as hell to see Ernie Isley, man, playing on that goddamn guitar, bro. Like motherfuckers don't realize just how fire, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to say Earth, Wind and Fire. How fire the Isley brothers are. Jimi Hendrix used to be they fucking guitar player.
Yep.
Let that sink in, bro. Just like for people who don't know, let that sink in. That just goes to show you how fucking dope that these guys are. Jimi Hendrix basically taught Ernie Isley how to play the fucking guitar, and look where Jimi Hendrix took it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Speaking of Woodstock, this nigga was this nigga played the fucking national anthem at Woodstock, and that's probably the most fire national anthem you'll ever hear, or the most fire version that you'll ever hear, next to Whitney Houston singing it. Um, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's so cool to see them, man. Like sitting on that stage and talking and reminiscing and bringing up, you know what I'm saying, all those old memories. And then, you know what I'm saying, to see them get up and perform those songs that, you know what I'm saying, you grew up to, that, you know what I'm saying, for most people, they had to get up on Saturdays and Sundays and clean their house too, you know what I'm saying, because your mom wasn't letting you sleep in. Like, or like I said, you know what I'm saying, just being at those barbecues, man. And, you know, you got that one uncle who always want to play the old school joints, and he get to playing them, you know what I'm saying, everything changed up. And then, you know, you was listening to Tupac or you was listening to Dr. Dre. He tell you cut that shit off and then go put on the Isleys or something. So, man, it's just, man, it's crazy just to hear that shit over and over again. And then, you know what I'm saying, like, they play As One. I mean, not As One. What the hell is that song called? As One is
But
the
we
song
are.
that, yeah, they played that, and As One is the song that sampled that from Jay-Z and them. It's on Blueprint too. He used that as a sample. Like it's so many songs, bro. Like I was hearing, excuse me, it's so many songs that I was hearing just going back and then just like thinking about, you know what I'm saying? Like just hearing certain samples, hearing certain parts that they use there, chop up, you know what I'm saying, using the hook or not the hook, the chorus of that song, and then turning it into a hook or turning it into a beat. Like they got a lot of shit that they done, you know what I'm saying, got sampled off of. Like that's thousands on thousands of songs that been using, you know what I'm saying, the Isley Brothers or Earth, Wind, and Fire. Just them two. And we ain't talking about everybody that's been sampled. We just talking about them two. Off of, like you said, they went up to 50. So off of 50 songs, they probably been sampled at least maybe 2 or 3 times a piece on average.
Yeah. And then the songs has been used multiple times, like
Mm-hmm.
Between the Sheets. Jay-Z did that ignorant shit
Mm-hmm.
on American Gangster. But
Yep.
also Lil Wayne sampled Between the Sheets. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that was just mainly like, cause it was off of a mixtape, and I think that that's when ignorant shit came out, and Wayne just used the ignorant shit, beat and just rapped over it. But like, even when like one of my favorite Earth, Wind and Fire songs is "Can't Hide Love."
Biggie and Diddy did it too. I love
Yeah,
it when you call me
but
Big Papa. Yeah, that's Between the Sheets.
yeah, and like my favorite Earth, Wind and Fire song is, well, one of them anyway, is "Can't Hide Love," and like Rick Ross did a song called Capone Suite, and it was on the
Mm-hmm.
Superfly soundtrack. And he
The new one.
used the cause yeah, the new one, not the old one, not the Rick Ross. Rick Ross might have been born, but he
No,
he wasn't Rick Ross yet.
I'm just laughing because the new one was so trash, bro. That new Superfly was horrible.
But hey, but the soundtrack has some shit on there.
Yeah,
Like
soundtrack was fire.
Miguel had a song on there called Ran, but it
Mm-hmm.
really stood for real ass nigga. But
Real ass
but
nigga. Yep.
but yeah, like he called Capone Suite, and he used this because Can't High Love they switched the beat at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He used the second beat for
Mm-hmm.
Capone Suite, and it was just like, dude, I just listened to it. But see, I like Rick Ross over that type of shit anyway.
Me
Like
too.
that's my
Me
thing
too.
about Ross. Like Ross, that's why. Did you hear it's supposed to be might be on the way a Rick Ross Drake collab album? It's supposed to be on the way, but the
Hey,
reason they
that shit gonna be crazy.
I'm telling you, because they are good together. Their voices work
Yes.
good together. The type of music that they love. And see, what I love about Ross, and this is the reason why I put like Ross is really the main reason why when I did my top 5 producers list, I put Justice League in there.
Yeah.
Because what Ross does to those Justice League beats, but
Crazy.
oh my God.
Crazy.
But like yeah, like but that is a great song, man. If nobody never heard it, man, and they sample that Earth, Wind and Fire, man, and it is fire. But the song Can't Hide Love is I'm saying,
Yeah.
off that is so great. And then how can we forget, since we talking about them, how can we forget Footsteps in the Dark, and it was a good day, Ice Cube.
Oh, come on, man.
Man,
Come on,
what
man.
what?
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you one of the best flips that I've ever heard from an Earth, Wind, and Fire song. My favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song, and my favorite song of all time, Reasons.
Okay.
Cameron took it on and flipped it on Purple Haze. It's a song called More Reasons. And it got Jaheim in it. And when I tell you, bro, the way that they flipped that joint is crazy. It's crazy. This probably one of the. It was my favorite song off of Purple Haze, but it's just that the way that they structured it is too nice. It's too nice. And that's one of the times where Cameron is really rapping on the, you know what I'm saying, like on the album. Like it's times where, you know what I'm saying, you could tell he playing around. You could tell he just like really just making music, enjoying himself. But this is one of those times where like you could tell he really spent some time to make this song, and it's worth every minute of listening to it.
Well, okay. If we're gonna use greatest flips
Mm-hmm.
that I can think of offhand, um, Roy Isles made "Everybody Loves the Sunshine," but yo,
Mm-hmm.
Mary J. Blige, "My Life," the way she flipped that song, she made that song hers. You know what I'm saying? "My Life"
Yeah.
is one of like really look Mary J. That's another like versus wise.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't too many people fucking with Mary J. Blige at all. But
I
you
want to
know what?
see. I want to see her in. I want to see her in either Beyonce or her and I'm trying to think who else could do that. It would have to be like a Beyonce or mm, I want to say Mariah Carey, but I don't think Mariah Carey would be able to. I don't think.
You, you know who I was
Mm,
gonna say? You know
mm-hmm.
how people always say there's nobody that can fuck with R. Kelly. I think Mary J might
That's not
be.
true.
I think Mary J might be right there, boy. Like I like the hits that she
Now
got and
I'm
the
not. I'm not
collabs that
saying
she got.
Beyonce gonna win. Yeah, I'm not saying Beyonce gonna
But
win. I'm
I
just
think
thinking of the entertainment of it.
the entertainment of it, but I think that a lot of people are going to be biased to Beyonce's records though, because
I
Mary,
don't care about none of that. Yeah,
Mary,
fuck that.
Mary catalog
It's
is
crazy.
it's more grown up. Like some of this is what I mean by that. I'm not throwing a shot at Beyonce, but some of her stuff is pop. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And so a lot of people are going to gravitate towards that type stuff because Mary never like Mary kind of stayed gangster with her shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I think that it will be an unfair matchup because I think that's just like if you put Cardi B and Rhapsody on verses. Like
Oh
everybody
no, that
me and you gonna be
that's not
like,
fair.
man, rap
That's
punish her.
not fair
But
to Cardi. Yeah, that's
exactly.
not
It's
fair
not
to Cardi.
no, I don't no. See, I think it's the other way. I think like
No,
dudes
I
like
know that.
me and
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
dudes like me and
Majority
you
gonna
gonna be
say
like,
Cardi.
yo,
Yeah,
yeah, the majority of the people are gonna say, yo, Cardi's gonna wash her.
yeah.
But that's
But the
because
real ones
her
know.
yeah, the real was no, cause rap gonna be up there with some baggy jeans, you know what I'm saying, with a sweat, with a hoodie on. Cardi's gonna be butt
Hey,
naked like she was
I
in
don't
that
give a
one
fuck what
video.
I don't give a fuck what Cardi pull out. When power come on, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You can shut that shit down. That round is over with. I don't give a fuck what she talking about in
but you
that
know what?
ooh wee when power and ooh wee come on. That round is over with.
But you know what? But you know with the I'm gonna play devil's advocate. They're gonna say when Kodak Black and Up come on. You know what I'm saying? That
Nah.
people are going. I'm
Mm-mm.
telling you, man. Majority of people that ain't music heads like me and you gonna be like those are better records. But
And
Mary,
I listen. In the immortal words of Samuel L. Jackson, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. I don't care what the people got to say. Shit, I don't care what they got to say. That shit is not gonna fly. When power and ooh we hit, I'm telling you that round is over with, bro. I don't care
but
what
see,
they
they
put up
don't,
there.
they don't, and they don't get it like me and you, man. Some of them don't get
I'm
it.
telling you,
They
bro.
don't get it. Hey, and let's stay on rap. Rap, she's huge in the samples mic, man. She flipped a Denise Williams record free, and
Mm-hmm.
that's Denise Williams' biggest hit.
Yeah.
And she flipped that with Alfini. Yo, the
Mm-hmm.
way that Alfini ring up, and she used not the album cut of Tupac saying what was it
I was
well, I was
raised by a
raised by a
woman.
woman
Yeah.
yeah, she used the rough cut of
Mm-hmm.
him saying that. It wasn't the album cut, which
Mm-hmm.
made it even doper. But like, yo, that was a great fucking
Well,
flip. How
shit.
she flipped that
She
record.
also flipped the Wu Tang joint. So you know what I'm saying? Like that just lets you know just how dope that team is, man. Like her ninth and the rest of them, man. Like that's you. That's that to me. I feel like that's one of the best tandems in the game right now. Like anytime Rhapsody get with ninth, you know you about to have something crazy. Like just going off of Layla's wisdom. Like that, if you listen to that album, it ain't maybe. I don't even think it's a track you could really skip on there. So for her to come back in with Eve and then do, you know what I'm saying, do Eve the same way, it ain't a track you're gonna skip on Eve for real. And if you do skip it, it's because you trying to hurry up and get to another track. But outside of that, like you ain't skipping nothing. That both of those albums can play from beginning to end easily.
Okay, well, I'm about to ask you a very unfair question, right?
Okay.
So, Phil Collins, In the Air
Mm-hmm.
Tonight. You know what I'm saying? She flipped it with Cleo, but DMX flipped it with I Can Feel It. Which one flipped it better, DMX or Rhapsody?
I don't know, man. That is a tough one. I had to go back. I had to go back.
Hey, but that is hard. I can't even answer the question.
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one.
I gotta plead the fifth because this is what I loved about Cleo. Other than the Phil Collins sample, look, so many people now sampled this song, man. But what made Cleo different was she was talking her shit, and rap don't do that. She don't answer her critics. She actually answered her critics in this song.
Shout out to B-Dot, by the way.
Yes. Shout out to B-Dot. You know what I'm saying?
B-Dot ass.
Yeah. You got to radar ass. No, Hip Hop DX. It was one of them.
No, you was right. It was
radar.
You got to B-Dot ass.
But she said, how can a whole bunch of sheets speak on the wolf or something, man? Hey, but she got on her shit. But in my air tonight, that was one of those very vulnerable DMX tracks. You know what I'm saying? Where he was really talking shit.
That's a tough track. Let's just put this out there. That's a tough track to even flip. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Think about that. Like Phil Collins literally wrote a beat for 4 minutes before the actual drums came in.
Song came on. Yeah.
You talking about like you said yesterday, you talking about letting the beat build, bro. Like
yeah,
he let that build, yeah. You feel me? Yeah. So like to even use that in, you know what I'm saying, like in the song and have to, you know what I'm saying, take pieces of that and make something else and flip it is already genius. Cause that's one of those songs that's not easy to that's not easy to, you know what I'm saying, take and make something new. That's a difficult song to use.
Yeah. Let's do it. Okay. A rap on rap. So NWA.
Okay.
Come out with Dope Man. Dope Man is my favorite song. I mean, look, I know everybody loves Straight Outta Compton, Fuck the Police, all that. Like, yeah. But Dope Man was the shit. Ice Cube. The people like, dude, Ice Cube was like 17, 18 years old. Dude, like, and like killing it. But Drake come back and flip Dope Man with Talk Up with Jay-Z. Yo, I remember the first time, like when Scorpion came out, when I listened to the album. So me and my son is in the car. Remember I told you I got him on the sample shit. So I was like, all right. I was like, listen to this, Cole. So I play people, please don't call DSS on me. So I play Dope Man for him, right?
Hey man,
so
you did what a father is supposed to do. You hear me? You did the right thing. You're supposed to play that kind of music for that young man.
Hey, so I put Dope Man on, right? And like, you know, Dre did that one thing where it did that beat. What's that? You know, do that little thing. So I played Talk Up. And he didn't catch it until that came on. And Drake only used it like 2 or 3 times through the whole song. And like, dude, when it came on, he looked at me and the biggest smile came across his face. Cause he heard it. He was like, yo, he was like, I see what you're saying now. And dude, I felt that, dude, that was a proud father moment right there. But how do you feel about, you know what I'm saying? Cause you mentioned rap used a Wu-Tang sample. So, like, what's the, like, how do you feel about, like, rap people using other rap samples and flipping it? Is that different from
Man, I think
using like an old R&B record?
yeah, it's way different. Because if anybody know anything about rap music in general, that's what rap music always was. Rap music was always sampled from other records. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop is basically taking it's recycling records pretty much. Like, you know what I'm saying? The first hip hop joints was off of Tonto. You know what I'm saying? That dun 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 dun. If you listen to that, that's not a real record. That's just somebody taking that point and playing it over and over and over again. And it's just a loop. You know what I'm saying? It's just a loop sound. That's all it is. That's how hip hop really is. It's just loop sounds. And I mean, when you break it down to a simplicity, so for what I'm saying, for people to take a record and sample it, it's just natural in hip hop. Um, you know what I'm saying? If you go back and listen to some of the older songs in hip hop, you'll realize, like, you know what I'm saying, those break beats, you know what I'm saying, those you know what I'm saying, all of those are just sampled records from other, you know what I'm saying, from other disco records or other R&B records or Motown records or whatever. And so for me, I think that it's a little bit easier to do R&B samples when you putting together, you know what I'm saying, a song. It's a little bit easier because you got to think about in R&B, they, you know what I'm saying, especially using those old ones, they got certain instruments and everything that you can really take and isolate and use that into, you know what I'm saying, the song. I think it's harder to do a rap beat because you don't have as much to, you know what I'm saying, really go on now. So now it's just a beat, you know what I'm saying? They might add some horns in here and there, or they might add some drums, a hi-hat, you know what I'm saying, or a 808, you know what I'm saying? They might even add some guitar somewhere in there if it's that kind of song. So you don't really have too many pieces that you can isolate using, you know what I'm saying, rap. So a lot of times when you hear people using rap, they'll use, you know what I'm saying, like the voice, or they'll use a hook, you know what I'm saying, or they'll use the scratch or something like that. And I think that's a lot harder to, you know what I'm saying, to isolate that and take it and move it over to, you know what I'm saying, the song that you're trying to do, because you can only, you know what I'm saying, use so much of it before it starts to sound like the previous record. Because, when you're trying to create something else, you want it to sound like what you want it to sound like, not what, you know what I'm saying, you took it from. So, I mean, yeah, man, that rap thing is hard. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like, even when you hear, trying to think of one.
I got one
Man,
for you.
man.
I got one for
What's
you.
up?
Okay, so well, first and foremost, let me say this. I don't know if it's just this one record,
Mm-hmm.
but Jay-Z made a deal with the Hard Knock Life. If anybody wanted to sample it, they could get it for free, but he had to like it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
The person that used it was your boy, Nipsey Hussle, Hustle and Motivate.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he just slowed it down.
Yeah, you slowed it down, yeah.
Yeah, he slowed down the beat.
See,
So
even that if you think about it, like, yeah, he sampled Hard Knock Life, but he really didn't sample Hard Knock Life. He sampled Annie for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you really get into it, he really just sampled Annie. That's why I said it's a little bit easier to do that, because really you just sample Annie. If you listen to Hard Knock Life, uh, it's just a suited up Annie version. It's a suited up version of the Annie song, right? So when you hear the Annie song is dun 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 dun, it's a little bit slower, and then it got a lot more space in it. But then when you listen to Hard Knock Life, it's dun 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 uh uh you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit
yeah,
more compressed. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's really just the only difference. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even that though, you're right. Like, to use to use that and then slow it down and make that what it is. Like, when I first heard Hustle and Motivate, I didn't think of Hard Knock Life until like the third time I listened to it, because I was just so entranced at how well, you know what I'm saying, like, he really put that song together. Because when he got on that song, bro, he took that motherfucker over. Like, Nipsey really, he put his foot in that one. So, excuse me. So, like, when I finally sat and listened to the beat and everything like that, I'm like, oh yeah, this is just Hard Knock Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of songs out there that do that, but it's like it's only a handful that you get that's when you hear it, you know what I'm saying, they give you that same feeling that, you know what I'm saying, you had when you heard that original version.
Yeah. Drake did it again. With DMX. You know, how's it going down? He did it
Mm.
with You With Me. Uh-oh. Look like
Hey,
you ain't like that one.
no, I love that one. Let me tell you something.
Oh, okay.
Boy, that nigga come in, what these bitches want
You
from a nigga,
want
some DMX shit. My groupies and my exes, like, hey man, listen, bro. Like, and it's so funny because speaking of that, man, you know, like DMX wasn't fucking with Drake at first,
Yeah. I
and
love
then
this. So did you hear the story when he was on
no,
Breakfast Club?
see, I don't remember all of it. I just remember I know he said at first when he first went up there, he was saying like he didn't like it, and I think Drake had reached out to him or some shit, and they end up talking and everything got cool.
Oh, no, I tell you what it was. I tell you what it was.
Okay.
So he was on the Breakfast Club, like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, when Drake
This was
first
some years
started,
back. Yeah, I said this was some
years
years.
back. And he was like, I don't like him. He's like, I don't like him. He was like, I don't like his
Yeah,
voice. I don't like his tones. You know, I don't like nothing about him. I don't like his skin color.
yeah.
Like, he didn't like nothing, right? So he said what ended up happening was he said that, Drake tried to reach out to him a couple of times to tell him, like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
like, you one of my favorite rappers. Like, I would love to do either a song with you or whatever, whatever. So they asked him about, You With Me. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, dude, he said, I know I said what I said. But he was like, I really respect that dude. He said, because this is the thing. He could have got the sample without DMX. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I think it was owned by like Def Jam or some shit.
Yep.
So he said that Drake called him and was like, yo, I would not use this sample if you don't want me to. So
Mm-hmm.
he said he played the song for him and he said, yo, it's a great fucking song. So he said that he got mad respect for Drake for asking him for his blessing
Mm-hmm.
before he put the song out. So he actually played You With Me for DMX and to
Yeah.
get the okay from DMX, and then he used the song.
But I
So
mean,
just
that's
when
why he's
people,
so
yeah,
successful, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's the type of shit you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to have, you know what I'm saying, those people's blessings and you want them on your side when you're making those songs because, you know, those relationships that you can't, you know what I'm saying, get anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Think about that. Like you cool with DMX and you get a chance to, you know what I'm saying, like use his music to make your music. Like, bro, that's them classics. That ain't nothing that, you know what I'm saying, people just hear and be like, you know what I'm saying? Like imagine a motherfucker playing Party Up, you know what I'm saying? And anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Imagine somebody just walking down the street and they just stop you and go, stop, drop. You already know what you know what I'm saying? You already know how to respond to it. So it's like those is you know what I'm saying, like classic albums. So to be able to use that and make your own music, like that gotta feel amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like you want that around you. Like you want to have those people, you know what I'm saying, supporting you and showing you that kind of love because like, you know what I'm saying, hearing DMX say, you know what I'm saying, nah, he cool. Imagine just how many of those people that fuck with DMX now, you know what I'm saying, is looking at Drake like, let me go listen to his music now. Just because DMX said it. You know what I'm saying?
yep.
Like you need that as an artist.
Yep. And like, man, I have done a disservice, man. So I've got to mention this because she's one of my favorite female rappers, and I don't talk about her enough. But so my girl Mia X, you know what I'm saying, she got a song "What You Want to Do," and she sampled the Gap Band "Yearning for Your Love." And dude, boy, "Yearning for Your Love"
One of
is
the
like,
greatest songs ever, bro.
and then to get her to flip it and like it goes under the radar because like to me out of now listen that No Limit roster, yo, I mean Master P, Mystical, Fiend, motherfucker Snoop end up coming and joining the train. You know what I'm
Hey
saying?
man,
Young Bleed,
hey man,
motherfucking.
that roster was three strong for real, man.
I mean, see, I didn't mention Silk Shocker. I didn't mention.
No, don't do
I
something
didn't
like that.
mention him.
Silk is one
I
of the
didn't
three.
mention him.
Silk is one of the three.
I don't think so, man.
It was
Me,
it was it was P, Silk, and Mystical. They kept Cash Money going.
not Cash Money, No Limit.
I mean, yeah, No
But
Limit. I'm sorry.
but the thing is, like, dude, back then, early '90s, motherfuckers like see. That's why I say Mia X. I would say if I had to compare rap to anybody. It's like it's a combination of Queen Latifah and Mia X. Like I would say that because I think Mia X was one of those rappers who, you know what I'm saying? She didn't. I think it was really like the wrong era for her because at that time, if I'm not mistaken, Kim was starting to get
Oh,
something.
no, Kim was out of there. Kim was already out of there. Kim and
Yeah,
Foxy,
yeah, yeah. Because
Kim and Foxy was
Kim and
already there.
Foxy.
Yeah, they was
So
already out there. Mia X didn't have
and
no
see,
chance.
well, no, she didn't. She didn't have a chance either way. She didn't have a chance either way.
They didn't have a chance.
Now, lyrical wise, though, to me, lyrical wise, she did. But I honestly do. I don't think Kim and Foxy was all that. I actually think Foxy was a better rapper. I think Kim. First off, a lot of Kim raps came from Biggie, so I'm not gonna give Kim all that much credit.
Correction.
I don't.
A lot of her early raps came from Biggie. I'm telling you now, Kim is one of the best writers in the game for real. Don't think that she don't write it too.
Man, listen.
Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by the movie. Don't let the movie make you biased, brother.
No, it ain't the movie. It ain't the movie. It's just the fact of I don't know. My thing is I got a bias, man. And that's one of those biases I can't leave. And a lot of these girls that sexualize themselves, man, like I feel like they use the cheat code.
Well, no. Let me stop you there because what you got to realize is before Little Kim, that shit wasn't even a thing. Kim revolutionized that. If it wasn't for Kim, we wouldn't even have that. So for Kim to be able to be that type of rapper and come out and make that shit as hot as it is, and then for her to be able to spit the shit that she was spitting at the same time, like go back and listen to Crush on You and go back and listen to all those songs and really listening to what she's saying. If you go even if you just go listen to like them old Junior Mafia hits, like she really rapping. She's saying some shit for real. It ain't just like, talking about putting, putting it on the nigga face or whatever. Like she really, saying some shit. Like she might have added that in here and there, but she got some shit, bro. Lil' Kim is a dog.
Look, she might have some shit.
That's why Nicki is so good at what she do.
She might have some balls, but for me, I have more respect for people like Queen Latifah, MC Lyte, Money Love, you know what I'm saying, Mia X, Rhapsody. Like I just got more respect for them because I felt that the way they got to where they was from strictly boring motherfuckers up. And I think that some of these other ones, they didn't get there from straight. It's not that Meg can't rap. Meg got some bars. But it's just like she's elevated by the sexuality, man. And I just feel that Mia X, she wasn't that tight. And then she left the game to raise her son. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she really only got like an album and a half. Like she don't even really got like that much music out.
Her verse on Make Them Say was trash.
It wasn't the best one. It was better on Hot Boys and Hot Girls. Hot Boys and Hot Girls, she killed that.
Okay.
But anyway, Megan said Mystical blew everybody out the water, so it don't even matter.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like this is my thing, right? For them to be the group that they was, like I said, Silk the Shocker, Mystical, and P made that train continue to go. So when you get on the track like that, you gotta perform. You gotta be there. So like if you go listen to Monster right now, the hardest verse on Monster is from Nicki Minaj.
I give Nicki that.
No, you can't. You ain't no giving it to her. That's science. You can't argue with science, bro. I'm telling you.
No, I give it to it.
You know what I'm saying?
I give it to it. I only say it like that because Monster. Be honest with you, that was a song I skipped on the album. Like I got tired of it. Like I didn't. Like they overplayed it on the radio, and it was just like I don't even like.
You were saying like you skipped it and like not heard it.
Oh no! I mean, it was played so much, then it got to the point. All right, yo, like when you listen to the album, it's like, yo, I don't even want to hear that song no more.
I feel you, but I mean, That's what I'm saying, bro. That's just how great Nicki's verse was. Like for her to get on there with Kanye West, for her to get on there with Jay-Z, and to have the best verse, especially like being an up and coming star. Like she wasn't Nicki Minaj yet. Like you know what I'm saying. Like she had a fan base and she was getting there. She was on her way to the top, but she wasn't like at the peak like where she's at now. Like she wasn't revered at like how she is now. So like for her to get on there and do what she did to that, like that's what I'm saying. Like you got to be on that. To me, like that's some shit Rhapsody could do. Like Rhapsody could get on the track with a couple niggas and you look at them niggas like you might want to take a seat. You know what I'm saying? You might relax.
Hey, she knows that. I think that's why a lot of dudes don't get on tracks with her, man, because they know.
On Sojourner, when she was with J. Cole.
With J. Cole, yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's a tough one. Hey, like man, I noticed when she do like when Kendrick got on Power. If you pay attention to the way Kendrick got on Power, he was like, "Man, let me do this shit and get the fuck out of here." Because it's like, hey, that's dangerous territory to be in, bro.
Yeah, and a lot of dudes' ego, they can't take it. Like, I don't think you'll ever hear like Drake and Rhapsody on the track. Cause Drake will be like, "Shit, but I ain't trying to. Look, I'm too successful."
If Drake get on the Rhapsody track, he's singing.
He's singing. He gotta sing. He's singing the hook.
He's not gonna wanna. Yeah, he ain't gonna wanna. Because listen, it's you already going in at a disadvantage being the dude in this situation, right? So you already got one strike against you as being a man, and then when you are the man, like you the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like you there, like at the top, and then you go in there and like you slip up. Oh nah. You don't want that. You don't want that on your resume.
Yeah. Drake would never do that. Like you said, unless he's singing the hook, it's the only way he's doing the Rhapsody track. Now I'm just saying, like,
give him 5 more years and maybe he'll do it. But like, nah, not yet. Let him relax.
Not yet. Nah, he my guy at all, but you ain't ready for that one. But nah, I'm just saying, like, dude, I just really like, and you see, and I'm from the South. You know what I'm saying? So like, when this whole peace stuff started to take over. Like, man, me and my sister used to have all the No Limit records, man. Like, she used to love. She was in love with the Fiend on album.
About the Ice Cream Man, bro.
Oh, I know about the Ice Cream Man, man. I know about the Ice Cream Man. You don't know nothing about Thinking About You. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have said that shit. You wouldn't have said it on that last time.
We had everything in Dayton. Do you hear me, bro? We was listening to True. We was listening to motherfucking the new No Limit. We was listening to all that shit, bro. I remember we used to be in the yard fighting about whether we was Cash Money or No Limit. And we was in Ohio. We ain't had nothing to do with that shit.
Man, what y'all know about Soulja Slim, man? You know what I'm saying? Crazy, that dude, that album, the game is to be sold, not to be told.
Hey, listen, I've been listening to Southern music forever, bro. I remember the last Mr. Big, Take That Shit to Trial, bitch. I remember all that shit, bro. I remember all that shit, bro. What you talking about, man?
Buddy. I forgot about that song.
Get you 12 white
folks. Man.
Oh, man, what you talking about? Boy. I know about all that shit, bro.
Hey, that used to be the shit, boy. I used to love it. Take that shit to trial, bitch. Oh man, I forgot about that song.
We used to have like, cause my family, well, my mom's side is her mother's side is originally from Georgia. So you know what I'm saying? Like we used to have cousins and shit like bring up mixtapes and all that shit from up here. So like we used to have like the DJ mixes, you know, back in the day where like the DJ used to be like the person you go see at the club and shit.
So yeah, like when the Clue tapes and DJ K Slay and all that shit used to come out.
Before that, like I'm talking about like damn, what the fuck is they called? When the core DJs and all them was out. Like we had a DJ up here called DJ Skano. And you know what I'm saying? Like he used to go around and do that. He used to be at the clubs and shit like that. He used to be on the radio and everything. And they used to make mixes. So the mixes that they used to make, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get them on, you know what I'm saying, like CDs or tapes or whatever. And they had this one that it was like a New Orleans bounce tape. I forgot who it was by. I forgot who I was on it. But I remember that's the first time I ever heard "Shake That Ass Like a Salt Shaker." So it wasn't a song that the Yin Yang Twins put out. It's another song that's like that. But it ain't nobody singing it. It's just a nigga on there saying "Shake that ass like a salt shaker," and the rest is just an instrumental. So like that's what I'm talking about when I say the mix is like it's just a mix of instrumentals. And like, you know, say you might have a nigga like throw a hook or some shit on there. Man, when I first heard bounce music, bro, I'm telling you, I was like, what the fuck is this? That was the most craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. I fell in love with that shit. So when Cash Money and No Limit came out, it was just natural. Like, yeah, this shit fire.
Oh yeah, man. Like I remember, man. Like back when the era that I was talking about, this was around 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like when DJ Green Lantern used to drop
Mm-hmm.
shit, DJ
Yeah.
K Slade, DJ Clue.
Like mixtape era.
Yeah, the mixtape era, man. Like when Wayne was starting to do the Gangsta Grill, well, not even really the Gangsta Grill dedication albums and shit.
Yep.
And
Drama and all them.
yeah, like Drama and all the dudes, like, yeah, that era was so dope. But see, that era also brought you a lot
Hold
of
on, wait a
dudes.
minute.
Like,
How you gonna mention Wayne and not talking about the Squad Up joints?
the Squad Up joints was cool. I'm gonna take, like, for me, no, I'm gonna take, dude. I tell people this all the time. Like, for me, like, okay, I love The Block Is Hot. It was The Block Is Hot, 500 Degrees,
Mm-hmm.
and then he did I think that's, and I think after 500 Degrees, that's when Wayne started doing the Squad Up shit, and then he started doing that first quarter came out. And then even there was a song on that first quarter. I can't remember what it was called. But he was saying that he was like, I'm on a whole nother level now. That other shit was weak. And like you knew like just because that whole album had a whole different feel to it. And you was like, yo, this dude ain't rapping like he rapped before. Like it was like you know what it was? It was like Lil Wayne hit his growth spurt. And it was just like, yo, like he's done growing. It was like that maturity, like he hit puberty, and it just it everything switched up.
He had to drop the little, and that nigga turned into Wayne on the Carter one.
And it was like, and then like the Carter one came after that dedication, and then he started hitting you with the prefix and the suffix and you know what I'm saying, and then like next thing you know, the Carter 2. I mean the dedication 2
was crazy.
Man, the dedication 2 was crazy. Like,
see, like I ain't never been a fan of mixtape Wayne.
See, I liked mixtape Wayne better than album Wayne. Like I liked it.
I know.
I liked it.
That's what everybody's saying, bro.
I liked it because like what it was, like the dedication 1 was basically like the preview for the Carter 1, and the dedication 2 the preview for the Carter 2. I liked the dedications, especially the dedication 1, better than Carter 1.
I know.
That's me.
I didn't like mixtape Wayne because I felt like he was wasting all these songs on mixtapes that should have been on albums. Like if you hear the shit that he was putting out in that mixtape time, like that shit should have been on albums, bro. Like imagine the shit that he was putting out on mixtapes, and if they just made like a couple of albums out of them, bro, them motherfuckers going platinum every time, bro. Every time.
It's true. But those now, as far as money, I don't think he never made it up. But what it also did was it put Wayne on the level of getting on a Destiny Child song. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like all of these features that he got, I think a lot of those features went up because of mixtape Wayne, because Wayne was so hot at the time. Everybody like Drake back in like 2009. No, Drake like 2011, 12, 13. Everybody was like, I need a Drake verse. I need Drake on my thing. That was Wayne then. And it was like it just like everybody wanted a piece of him. But damn, I don't even know how to. Oh, we got that because of Mia X. See, look what Mia X did, man. Look what Mia X did right there, man. Listen, okay, right. One of my favorite songs, man. Like it's dude, I used to listen to just the instrumental because I mean, don't get me wrong. Freeway, Benny Siegel, and
Mm-hmm.
Jay Z killed it. They killed it. Don't get me wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
the What We Do beat is so fucking good. But the thing about it, the song itself, they sample a song from a creative source called "I Can't See Myself Without You," and then it's just like, yo, the song by itself is dope, and I think that's why the sample is so dope. And like that song was like at the time, that's when it was dope to have like through that beat, they saying what we do is wrong, and they keep repeating wrong and wrong and wrong. Like that was a time where people started doing it in their music. Like it was a time where like you had the sample of the word being played over and over and over, but like a lot of people don't really do it anymore. To be honest with you, now it's more ad libs
It's
in the
a few. Yeah,
background.
I'll say it's a few that do. Like the older artists still do that.
Yeah, like yeah. What's that one song? It's one song. Damn, I think it's rap. Rap got a song on the Crown album
Mm-hmm.
called "Through with Him," and it's like two songs in one. You know, rap. She loves switching this, switching it up in the middle, and she switched it up,
Mm-hmm.
and like the ad lib or whatever you want to call it, say "fuck 'em girl," and so like she's like rapping her bars. She'll do like like an 8 or something, and then they'll say "fuck 'em girl," and then she'll do
Mm-hmm.
another 8, and then it'll say "fuck 'em girl," and like you know what I'm saying. So like she's rapping in between the "fuck 'em girls," and it's like a lot of people don't do it no more because like that timing. I think it's more
Oh man,
difficult to
it's
do
yeah.
that.
You got to be a dog for that.
Yeah, because it then it has to make sense with
Mm-hmm.
that fucking girl. Like you can't
Mm-hmm.
just throw some bars in there and then just stop and then be some shit that don't even make sense to go with the fucking girl. But like,
Exactly.
yeah, a lot of people don't do it anymore, man. Like something else a lot of people don't do? They
Mm-hmm.
don't do pick and roll no more. Like
Yeah.
I remember one of the mixtapes, because that's when Wayne and Joel Santana had a great
Oh, I can't
relationship.
feel my face. Come on, what?
Man, yes, man, I can't feel my face. They had a song on there called Pick and Roll.
Yeah.
Yo, boy, that shit was so dope how they was feeding off each other. But
Yeah. That's that Styles P and Jada Kiss type shit.
yeah, what's the name did it too? Like the last record I heard, and like I say, I'm kind of, very picky with my music, but the Alchemist got a song called Perfection. It was on the Cutting Room 3, I believe. It was Rick Ross and Meek Mill. They was doing a pick and roll situation. So
Hey,
like a lot,
Jay Z and Jay Electronica just did that.
yeah, on that a written testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like,
Yes,
but
sir.
yeah, a lot of people don't do that shit no more, man. But what we do, man, that's one of the hardest beats I've ever heard. But the sample, the regular song, is dope as well. I know that was one of those you got to dig in the crates to get because I never heard a creative source before.
Yeah. So if you, it's the song I'm thinking of is it got a couple of those elements that we just actually talked about. That you know what I'm saying, that loop of the words. You know what I'm saying, that flip of the beat, using the, you know what I'm saying, using the actual theme of the song, and you know what I'm saying, taking it and making something else out of it. So Most Def came out with Miss Fat Booty, and he sampled Aretha Franklin's One Step Ahead. And I remember when I had first heard it, I knew the song from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you always hear it and be like, man, that song sounds familiar.
Hmm.
And then when I actually heard the Aretha Franklin song, I asked my grandma, like, Grandma, what song is that? She told me. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I go back and I'm listening, you know what I'm saying, back and forth to each of the songs. So, you know what I'm saying, like it start off like I'm only one step. I forgot how the actual words go, but it's like one step ahead of yours, something, something. I know I can't afford to stop. So it's that, and then you know what I'm saying, like they playing it like the regular version at first, and then they speed it up for the rest of the song. And then like, you know what I'm saying, throughout the song, you could like they got her crooning through the, you know what I'm saying, like through the beat. They got it like they turn the pitch up on it a little bit, but you could hear her crooning through the beat like throughout the whole song. And then when you hear the actual song, like, you know what I'm saying, you can hear those moments of her saying it in the, you know what I'm saying, actual song. So it's like that's one of the ones where they really took the song and took it apart and really made something else out of it. And that's probably one of the dopest flips I've heard. That's, to me, that's up there like at the top.
Yeah, and another one, is, you know what I'm saying, the guy from close where you from, Twister.
Mm-hmm.
So he does "Girl Tonight" with Trey Songz, and they sampled the song "Ready for the World" tonight. And dude, when I tell you Trey Songz even sounds like them, like he even sound like them, and like that's probably like the best. That guy, man, that's got to be like in the top 5 flips, man. And Twister's one of those dudes.
Twister flipped Bill Withers' "Lovely Day."
Yeah, Twister's one of those dudes very, very underrated, man. Very underrated. Yeah. A lot of people don't mention Twister, man, but he makes great music, man. They can't understand
what he's saying sometimes.
I think that's what it is. I think people just like, yo, I don't know what he's saying. So it's like, but like Adrenaline Rush was dope, man. But that album, the day after was the shit, man. And that's when he had that relationship with Jamie Foxx and Kanye. You know what I'm saying? He worked with them a lot with that Day After album. I think that's why I like that album as much as I did. But like, man, there's so many flips out there, man.
Bro, that was a fire ass album.
Hell yeah, man. But man, we could go on and on and on, man. The Rain, Super Duper Fly, Missy Elliott, she sampled Ann Peebles, I Can't Stand the Rain. Man, Busta Rhymes with
Benny Siegel and Bun B with Purple Rain. They sampled the Delphonics with I Want to Go Outside in the Rain. Man, that was a great sample.
What's that?
You said, I forgot too. You said, so speaking of Benny Siegel, he actually flipped they got 2 flips on there. I forgot what the first one is, but the second one is Bread and Butter by I think it's either the DOC or no, it's the Bread and Butter by Grand Puba and is Puba, Lord Jamar, I forgot what the fuck the group name, Brand Nubian.
Oh, okay.
They used Brand Nubian to flip it, and he got Puba on the actual song.
That's crazy. Like, man, like I say, we can go on and on, man. Kendrick Lamar, Poetic Justice, Anytime, Any Place by Janet Jackson. Dude, I don't know though, dude. I think I got another top 10 for you, bud. International Players Anthem. You know what I'm saying? UGK, they flipped that Willie Hutch, I Choose You. Why that
T.I.'s, I'm sorry, it's another rap one. T.I. sample UGK with Front Back.
Yep, front, back.
I got front, back, side to side. Yeah, come on,
man. Yep.
I told you, like once I get going, I come up with a few of them.
Oh yeah, man. It's so many dope ones, man. Like, I know this is a mixtape, but because the mixtape game is a little different. But J. Cole on that Friday Night Lights, he did Too Deep for the intro. He sampled Didn't You Know by Erykah Badu. That's one of my favorite shits, man. Busta Rhymes with
Dr. Dre sampled Erykah Badu Bag Lady on Explosive on Chronic 2001.
Yep.
Classic.
You motherfucking right. And then, like, man, to close it out, man, because, you know what I'm saying, I got to mention my guy, Al Green, man. Busta Rhymes did Turn It Up When Disaster Strikes album. He did Here I Am, Come and Talk by Al Green, man. You know, Al Green's my guy, man.
Don't forget, he also sampled Rick James In the Ghetto.
Yeah, In the Ghetto. That shit was so dope. That's when he was with Dr. Dre. He did that one album with Dr. Dre. I remember he told a story. He said Dr. Dre came into the studio with a bucket and a shovel. He was like, "What the fuck you doing with that bucket and shovel?" And like, I wish I could remember the name of the song, but like you can hear like he's a He'll throw it there. It's just
That's
to have
crazy.
that type of mindset, man, to be like, yo, I got an idea. Let me get a bucket of sand and a shovel and put that
Mhm.
shit on a beat. Like, who
Hey,
thinks of shit like
genius,
that, man?
genius.
That just like I know y'all. I know I'm about to end it. I swear. Little John was talking. I forget what podcast he was on, but the one song what's
That
something kind of cut. Yeah, he a lot of
that's
people. Yeah,
Trill
a lot.
Mills cut.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that that was a bed. He said well,
Mhm.
what was going on was he said that we just in the studio trying to come up with a beat. And he had one of those chairs, and the chair he kept
Mhm.
leaning back in the chair, and the chair would make that sound. And like he said,
Yeah.
they would stop, like, "Yo, what is that sound?" And so he'll go back into the beat, and then he'll move in the chair to make that sound. They was like, "Yo, it'd be dope if you put that in the song."
Mhm.
So like just to have like those creative juices, man, of like even just some shit. I don't know, you messing with some blinds and you know what I'm saying, and then
Hey
it,
man,
it makes a certain sound, and you be
and
like, you know what, that sound dope. Like record
that's
that
why
shit.
hip hop. That's why hip hop is what it is, man. Because like you can, it's one of those things to where you can create genius out of damn near anything if you know what you're doing, or even sometimes even if you don't know what you're doing. But usually when you know what you're doing, you can create genius out of damn near anything.
Yeah, you can have be a genius by an accident. Like some
Yeah,
of the stuff was just accidents. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So yeah, man, that was a great music conversation, man. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love having these with like people like you and Casey because y'all like are really in this shit, and it's just like for me, like a lot of the time, I just love listening to music, and I'm just an
Yeah.
old head, and I just got this fascination with how music just keeps being recycled. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like my thing was like if I could ever have the time and the equipment, like one thing that I would love to do is just sit back. Like I would love to sample. I got so many songs that I want to sample, man. Like there's so many parts of songs where I just want to take like a little clip of it or take, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying, like the a guitar from this song or take the one little secondary beat in this song and like so I like dude I got a list of songs right now like if you were to put me in the studio like I want to sample like I want to sample fucking Give Me Shelter by the Rolling Stones. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's some shit in there that I want to pick. There's a few things I want to pick out of there and like flip that whole shit into like you know what I'm saying? Like one of those tracks where like I got a vision for it and everything. Like I want an R&B dude to do the hook, you know what I'm saying? I want a rapper type dude, you know what I'm saying, to do the song, you know what I'm saying, to add bars
Mm-hmm.
to it, all the type shit. So
Hey man, you
I
producing, man. That's all it is. You just producing.
yeah, man, like they're like cause I that's just like when I watch TV. I don't watch
Mm-hmm.
it to watch it no more. Like I watch it and it's just like, yo, we can talk about this on the podcast. And like I do
Mm-hmm.
that with music. Like I listen to music and it's just like, yo, like where did this come from? Like
Yeah.
where did they pull this from? And it's just like, yo, I like this song. Nobody, well, at least nobody that I know has sampled this song. Like I would love to grab pieces and bits of this song and make my own song, but it is what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
Scoots, my guy, man. Appreciate you coming on with me.
Always,
Uh,
brother.
putting this in. Like I haven't put out 28 in about 2 weeks, so get the people something. Man, been busy, man. I've been really busy. Like even though we've been able to pretty much stay on schedule with doing our viewers anonymous, man. I just haven't had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of time to dedicate to this podcast. But at the same time, man, it's just been I've been waiting for the right opportunity, man. Like, I just don't want to just put out anything. I'm gonna start putting more focus into this podcast, as far as the 28 minutes or less. So, I just wanted to put out something with some, what I'm saying, that has some meat on it, and I felt like this has some meat on it, man. And all this came from just watching the versus battle and in the
Yeah.
passing of DMX. So, once again, rest in peace to Earl Simmons. He was 50 years old. Um, so long lives that legend. But y'all also, man, go check out the Viewers Anonymous. We got a lot of things still to come with that podcast. It's a growing podcast. I love the partnership we have with that. We're gonna keep that going for the people, and try to grow that even more as we've grown it within. Because we had our year anniversary this year,
Yep.
so looking forward to the second year. Um, so go check out the VA podcast watch group page on Facebook. We're trying to grow that group. You can catch everything there, man. Things for this podcast, 28 minutes or less. When there's a Stolen Time podcast, a Viewers Anonymous podcast, you know what I'm saying? We post 15 minutes of fame on there. So everything we involved with, we post things on there, so you can get everything, the information about everything on the VA podcast watch group page. You also can go to the Stolen Time podcast page on Facebook, Stolen Time Pod on Instagram, S.Foster8 on Facebook, no, on Instagram and Twitter. But you know what I'm saying? Shout out everything that you got, Scoots, before we get up out of here.
Okay, man. You can go to Twitter. You can follow me at Scootzbronsen. You go to Instagram, Scootzbronsen_TV. If you want to watch Viewers Anonymous, you know what I'm saying, and check out what we do in person, or as we record live, you can watch, you know what I'm saying, interact with us. You can go to YouTube, just search Scootzbronsen TV. We'll pop right up, or search Viewers Anonymous. We'll pop right up. You know what I'm saying? You can always watch us Tuesdays and Fridays. Like he said, go to the Viewers Anonymous podcast watch group on Facebook, and check me out, man. 15 minutes of fame. We come in with another episode real soon. I'm getting some people together right now, and then on top of that, the link tree is out for Viewers Anonymous. So if you know what I'm saying, want to find out where you can listen to the podcast on whatever platform or whatever you got, you can just go straight to the link tree. It's on the Viewers Anonymous page. It's on my Twitter. It's everywhere, basically. And then we got the Viewers Anonymous Instagram coming soon. So we working, man. We working.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we're doing. Also, if you want the visuals of this, you can go to the Stolen Time Podcast Network. That's where you can go on YouTube to get the visuals of this. And also, man, got to shout out the guy Casey. Appreciate him. And Casey was on your last 15 minutes of fame. Yep. So y'all can go check out that interview on all major platforms. But shout out to Casey, man, for everything that he does, for this podcast and everything. Shout out to Uncle Washington. Just pray for him. Pray for my guy. I'm not gonna go into details, but he needs to be worried about other things, but he's motivated on podcasting. So, you know what I'm saying? Just just keep just keep that guy in your prayers, man. Shout out to Uncle Washington, man. That's my guy, man. But shout out to Candace. Before we get out of here, shout out to her. Appreciate her support on everything, man. Shout out to Sinclair. Also, man, be on the lookout, man. I might be having something coming, you know what I'm saying, with some people, man, for the Stolen Time podcast. So be on the lookout for that. But I mean, that's all I got today. So I appreciate everybody's support. Appreciate everybody for listening. This was episode 41 of the Stolen Time podcast. Look, see, I knew I was gonna fuck up. This is episode 41 of the 28 minutes of the last podcast.
Oh, that's hilarious, bro.
Oh, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We out of here.
Peace out, man.